Today I am going to be doing a tutorial for this beautiful granny square of one color. Hey friends, I am Diana and I am a crochet cheerleader. I love to encourage people to crochet. Get excited about the different projects that you're working on. So if you are working on something and you want to tag me, I am on Instagram at scrappy_warriorwoman. With this square, you're going to be able to create so many different projects. This year, I intend on my channel to share different projects using granny squares. So with that being said, let's get started with our project today. Stay tuned because I have a couple tips that I share in the video of how to make a better granny square and have it stay together for your clothing. This project, you are going to need a pair of scissors, a needle, darning needle, a crochet hook, and some yarn. Now for my project, I am going to start with a magic ring. Now, if you have watched other videos on how to start a granny square, many people will start this with chains and then slip stitching into a chain for their granny squares. I find for me that I end up having to go back and fix my work. And once you've crocheted a blanket and it's taken a long time, no one wants to go back and fix a blanket. So I found for me that I like to do a magic ring. Now I do have a video on how to start a magic ring. If you don't know what one of those is, I will put it in the description below. So right now we will start with a magic ring. And we will start by chaining 2. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets. So yarn over and pull it through. There's 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochet. So by chaining 2 in the beginning, that is going to count as a double crochet. Now that we have our quote unquote 3 double crochet, we are going to chain 1, and then we're going to go back into this magic circle and do 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to chain 1 and do that again 2 more times. We're going to do a double crochet cluster. So we're going to go in here and for 3 times. Chain 1 and then do that again. And if you're wondering what this color of yarn is, it is called Pagoda by Karen Simply Soft. So now that we've reached, and you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters, you chain that 1 and you're going to pull your tail to cinch it down, and you're going to slip stitch into that top of that chain 2 in the very beginning. All right, when you're crocheting, make sure that you have, like a lighter tension on this, okay? I prefer, for me, I like to pull my circle all the way closed. If you don't like that look, you don't want that look, you can control that by the tail in the back. So I'm going to cinch mine down just a little bit tighter. Okay, so now that we have that completed center spot, I am going to chain 2 and actually flip my work. So we're going to work in the other direction. So now this is the wrong side of my crochet work. And what I'm going to do is I am going to do a 3 double crochets and then a chain 1 and then 3 double crochets. So that creates the corner. So 1, 2, because that chain 2 counts as a double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to do that again. All right, so now we have one corner there. We're going to do the same exact thing in the remaining corners. All right, now that we have crocheted all the way around, I am going to slip stitch into the top of those chain 2, like this. And then what I'm going to do, because each round is a little different, I am going to slip stitch until I hit this corner over here. So you'll take it underneath this stitch and you'll slip stitch it, and then slip stitch it again, and then slip stitch it a third time. And then, you guessed it, we're going to chain 2 again. All right, now that we've worked that double crochet and we've turned our work, the reason why we always turn our work is that if you're wanting to create a square, and if you continued in the same direction of your, without turning your work, then it wouldn't actually be a square. It would be some sort of other shape. So every time you start a new row, you're going to turn your work. No matter how big that you make your square, want your square to be, you will turn your work every time with every row. All right, so now that we have that chain 2, we're going to do 2 more double crochets. And then a chain 1, and then 3 double crochet. And then we're going to work 3 double crochet in this space right here. And then because this is a corner, we're going to do our corner work. So 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and then 3 double crochet again. So that's our pattern. So we go 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, then you work 3 double crochet in your space, then in the corner it's 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. So you'll continue doing that around until we meet up over here. Okay, now that we've reached the end of that, we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 2, and then because it's closer to this corner, I want to slip stitch into my next 2 spaces until I hit that corner, and then I'm going to chain 2. Because I want to make it 5 rounds, we're going to just continue to do the very same pattern. So we'll chain 2, flip our work, and then do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, and then in our next 2 spaces, we're going to be working 3 double crochet. because we're hitting our corner again, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and do the same all the way around. So we're going to do 3 double crochet here, 3 double crochet here, and in this stitch to create the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, all the way around until we get to this point. All right, now that we've reached our other point here, we're going to again slip stitch into this chain 2, and we're going to do 1 more round. So again, slip stitch till you get to the corner here, chain 2, flip your work, and we're going to create our corner with 2 more double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and then again we're going to do 3 double crochet in each of these spaces and then a corner space. So I'm going to speed up my video because we've done that a couple times, and then we're going to meet back to our finishing point. So you take your time and take as long as you need and do your project. Now that we're at the end, we are going to slip stitch into that chain 2 space up here at the top. And then we're going to tie off. So then what you do, once you slip stitch through, you grab the yarn here and just pull this through right here like this. And then with your scissors, you're just going to give yourself a little bit of a tail and then pull this through like this. All right, now we've got these obnoxious tails we need to weave in. So I'm going to pull this a little bit tighter. Now this is tip time, and because I had to repair probably 2 or 3 different blankets that I've made because of different methods or not weaving in my ends correctly, I found a way that actually works for me really well. So I will take my yarn and I just work it through the back, one direction underneath the center part right here. See how tight that is? And I'll pull it through like this, and then I'll work it back the other direction, and then I'll work it down the side, and then I'll work it up this other direction here. No, I won't. So then once you reach that point, you're just going to trim it. See how close and nice that was? Okay. And now I'm going to do very similar with this one where we tied it off. Going to take my yarn and just weave it back and forth for 3 times. Just so, see how this has a little nice little back side here. We're going to work our needle through that. And I like it because you can kind of work through the fibers to really grab it and hold it down. And then once you've reached that point, you're going to trim it. We've trimmed all our square off. It looks so beautiful. And what is wonderful about this is now you have a basic granny square. The options of creating things is endless. And what's awesome about this too is if you wanted to change it up, you could change it up. Each row have a different color. So how you would do that, you would create your first round or whatever round that you're wanting to do, and you would tie it off, and then you would slip stitch and chain 2 and do the same thing all the way around with your different colors. And because you're the creator of your own destiny, but this is the basic granny square.